All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Airsoft discussion. Wow, I got my mic volume way too. Let me turn that down just a hair. There we go. All right, guys, welcome to the Airsoft discussion. For those of you that have listened before, this will be a routine thing to you. For those that haven't listened before, welcome. You can follow us on Facebook at the Airsoft discussion as well as on YouTube, but it's a little bit different. It's on YouTube at no, it's no longer Alabama Airsoft Rhino. It's just Airsoft Rhino. That is the new channel. Well, actually, it's been out for about 6-7 months now, so I can't exactly call it a new YouTube channel anymore. But you can follow us there as well to get in on all the action that's happening on the show, as well as see future and current broadcasts. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Oh yeah. Sorry for the delay. Sorry that it's been a couple months since my last broadcast. I mean, let's just be completely honest. Not much has been going on, over the summer. I mean, there are a couple summer airsoft events, but everybody knows that the big stuff is typically in the spring and typically in the fall. You don't really you kind of have this lull. And number one, I didn't really want a bunch of just, random broadcasts going on through the summer. But I know on the Facebook page and stuff, things seem dead. I might have posted a couple of things, but don't worry, that's going to be changed. I'll ramp up production going back. We're about to enter the fall months of, we're in the last month. Currently, it's July 26th that this broadcast is being made. So, we're about to start entering that transition months from summer to fall. You go July, and then school starts back in August for a lot of us, or for those that were working, just the same old. It's just going to start getting a little bit colder every morning, but it's going to start entering that time of real pop. Mil sims start coming around, airsoft events start being planned out the wazoo. There's actually been a lot of announcements that were already made previously, but also a lot of changes, which we're going to talk about today in the broadcast. But I promise, guys, we're going to get things back on track, back on regular schedule, because I ended up another reason why I've been a little bit quiet lately is because I ended up changing majors, which means I needed to take a lot more classes over the summer to catch myself back up with my degree plan. So I've done that, and then going into the fall, hopefully this fall I have to take maybe 1 or 2 classes. I had to take 3 online classes this summer, so I'll probably only be taking 1 or 2 full-time classes in the fall. So we'll see how everything goes with that. With all that being said, hopefully we'll be able to resume regular broadcast schedule, at least once every other week, and we'll have a lot more going on. So like I said, sorry for the long delay. Just, not much going on / changing majors, which equals summer classes. So anyways, guys, hopefully we'll get this thing back on track like we did. Tonight, Wiley and Tan will not be joining me. They both have personal matters. I know it's Tan's fiance's birthday, so, happy birthday, Mackenzie. As well as, Wiley's got some family and personal matters going on. Nothing bad. He's just busy as well. I think he's in Mississippi right now. So they won't be joining me tonight, so you're just going to have to listen to me yammer on like I usually do for a while. Hopefully I don't drive myself crazy. So anyways, guys, since I've been gone, my Spreaker account's been downgraded from on-air talent to just free speech, which basically means I no longer have the 45-minute segments. It'll only be 30-minute segments, which I really do prefer better. I'd rather do 2 separate 30-minute segments. So we really won't be taking any breaks. We'll just, after the 30-minute mark, I think it's on 7 minutes and 35 seconds right now. So once we hit the 30-minute mark on this, I'll have to stop it and make a part 2. The other thing is, instead of having 100 hours of audio storage, I only have 5. And I got 3 of it used right now. So that means I'm going to have to start deleting episodes on the Airsoft discussion on Spreaker.com every time things happen, or every time I have a new episode and reach that limit. So the old episodes are going to go. Don't worry, they've been archived. They will be available on YouTube, which is another platform that I broadcast live on. So anyways, those are all the changes going on with the YouTube channel. And for some reason, it is going to cut me off live here in about 6 minutes. Okay, that's new. All right, so if I'll give you guys a warning if we get into something and it decides to cut me off and I have to make another segment. So, all that being said, guys, welcome back to the Airsoft discussion. For my usual listeners, like I said, we'll be picking up usual schedule hopefully here soon. If not, you should see a new broadcast 2 weeks from now. If not, I'll tell you why. For those of you that never listened before, every other week I try to, typically on a Wednesday or a Sunday night, I try to do a broadcast. Tonight being Wednesday the 26th. So, sorry guys, I don't know, I've lost my voice, so I have to take a sip of water every now and then. Otherwise, I get really raspy and it's kind of like that intangible or whatever, whatever. You can't understand what they're saying at the bottom of the screen. The topics for tonight are as follows, and it's also in the title. Number one, which I've changed this up a little bit. First thing we're going to talk about is using the new Wolverine Reaper and some of my thoughts on that particular product. The Guardian Center shutdown / Third Coast Airsoft Shuffle. That's another segment. And then we have the AMS comes to Bama, same weekend as Fated Giant 6. We'll get into that, explain a little bit. I've done some research on that, as well as some of you probably put this information together already. But just in case, we're going to go over that. And then finally, the Alabama Airsoft Association has some upcoming events. Red Dawn 3 and Operation Christmas Turkey 3. There's been some changes in that scheduling, and we'll get into that late on the very last segment, especially for my Alabama listeners. They'll definitely want to listen in. I'm a little bit excited to talk about the AMS comes to Bama because that is a international news thing for my national audience, that's a national news thing for my national audience. And it's in my home state, so it's awesome. There's a little bit for everybody in that segment. All right, so it's saying I have only 4.5 minutes left of broadcast time before I have to break this up into a separate segment. So what I'm going to do, guys, since this is being this way, because I don't want to get into the Guardian Center shutdown and all of a sudden this thing cut out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to, due to Spreaker.com restrictions, I can only broadcast for a certain amount of time before it cuts out and I have to go into another segment. So I'm going to stop this broadcast and create and start a new one. It'll be the same title except for a part 2. So let me do that right quick. And if you guys get the link off the Facebook page, I'll repost part 2 in the Facebook page. If not, go to the Airsoft discussion or go to Spreaker.com/Airsoft. And that'll pull up my page, and just wait there, and you'll see the new live broadcast come up. So anyways, guys, when we come back, we're going to get into the first segment, which is using the new Wolverine Reaper and some of my thoughts on that.